The gold standard of personal protection is absolute mechanical certainty. When a life-threatening crisis unfolds in a matter of seconds, a defensive handgun cannot merely be an affordable compromise. It must execute its mechanical cycle flawlessly every single time the trigger is pressed. In 2026, the firearms market is saturated with highly capable budget-friendly options, many of which are produced by modern, revamped assembly lines. However, navigating the secondary market or looking back at certain experimental designs reveals a darker truth. Some platforms possess inherent systematic engineering flaws that render them entirely unsuitable for life or death scenarios. In this technical breakdown, we are counting down the top 5 Taurus pistols that are statistically, ergonomically, and mechanically prone to failing you in a critical self-defense situation. While the manufacturer has successfully redeemed its reputation recently with excellent modern duty options, their historical catalog and specific experimental endeavors remain plagued by catastrophic design vulnerabilities. Stay tuned until the very end, because our number 1 pick is a widely distributed model that many unsuspecting gun owners still rely on for home defense today, and its hidden mechanical hazard will absolutely surprise you. Let us unlock the engineering realities that you must avoid to keep yourself and your family safe. Number 5. Taurus Spectrum. Starting off at number 5 is a pocket-sized platform that can be found lingering on clearance racks and secondary gun markets in 2020s. 6 for an incredibly low price of approximately $180. Chambered in the inherently low energy .380 automatic Colt pistol caliber, also known as .380 ACP, the Taurus Spectrum was engineered to be a sleek, modern solution for deep concealment. It features a 2.8-inch barrel, a highly compact polymer frame, and an incredibly light unloaded weight of just 10 ounces, aiming to capture the everyday carry market with colorful styling and a snag-free profile. From an ergonomic standpoint, the design team attempted to maximize shooter comfort by integrating proprietary soft-touch, rubberized overmolds directly into the grip panels and slide serrations. While this feels pleasant on a showroom floor, it presents a massive failure point in real-world defensive applications. Furthermore, the complete lack of aggressive mechanical texturing makes the weapon exceptionally slippery and difficult to retain when your hands are covered in sweat, rain, or adrenaline during a high-stress, violent encounter. Mechanically, the action of the Spectrum is built around a true double-action, only striker, fired system that completely eliminates an external safety. Unfortunately, this internal fire control group is notorious for delivering weak, inconsistent striker hits, resulting in frequent light primer strikes that leave the shooter holding a useless piece of polymer. The trigger pull itself requires a long, mushy, and exhausting 7 to 8 pounds of pressure, terminating in an incredibly vague reset that severely degrades follow-up shot accuracy. To make matters worse, the design lacks a traditional mechanical extractor claw, relying purely on blowback gas pressure to eject spent casings, which routinely induces horrific double feed and stovepipe malfunctions. Verdict: the Taurus Spectrum completely prioritizes soft aesthetics over life, saving mechanical reliability, making it a severe liability in a lethal encounter. Number 4. Taurus Curve. Taking the 4th spot on our list is a highly unconventional design that currently sells as a discontinued novelty on the used market for roughly $220. The Taurus Curve represents one of the most bizarre chapters in modern handgun engineering, chambered in .380 ACP, with a 2.7-inch barrel and an unloaded weight of 10.2 ounces. The core engineering concept was radical. The polymer frame was literally manufactured with a distinct physical curvature designed to contour seamlessly around a right-handed shooter's hip bone, theoretically making it the most comfortable concealed carry pistol ever made. However, forcing the internal components of a semi-automatic firearm to operate within a curved chassis resulted in disastrous geometric compromises. The magazine well and the magazine body itself possess an awkward alignment angle that disrupts the natural upward feeding path of the ammunition. This structural flaw causes defensive hollow point ammunition to frequently dive directly into the feed ramp, completely locking up the slide action after the very first shot. The ergonomics of the curve are equally detrimental to actual defensive shooting survival. To maintain a perfectly smooth exterior, the factory completely omitted traditional iron sights, forcing the shooter to rely on a rudimentary laser module or a painted crosshair on the rear of the slide, both of which are practically useless under the rapid reactive point shooting dynamics of a real-world ambush. Operating on a double-action, only hammer-fired system, the trigger pull is long, gritty, and breaks unevenly at 7 pounds. Because the physical trigger shoe breaks at an awkward non-linear angle due to the curved frame, shooters naturally pull their shots wide of the target under stress. Verdict: the Taurus curve is an egregious example of gimmick-driven engineering that sacrifices fundamental shootability and feeding mechanics for pure carrying comfort. Number 3. Taurus PT79 Slim. Moving forward to number 3, we examine a single-stack subcompact that can be acquired on the secondary market in 2026 for right around $200. The Taurus PT79 Slim was designed to compete directly with elite single-stack defensive handguns, utilizing a standard 9mm caliber chambering, a 3-inch barrel, and a total unloaded weight of 19 ounces. On paper, its slim steel slide and polymer frame offered a robust, easily concealable package, but long-term field use exposed fragile internal metallurgy that degrades rapidly under duty pressures. Ergonomically, the 79 Slim offers a very narrow profile of less than 1 inch wide, making it exceptionally easy to tuck inside an waistband. However, this thinness comes at a severe cost. The grip length is so short that it leaves the shooter's pinky finger completely dangling, drastically reducing the leverage required to control the sharp, snappy recoil of a defensive 9mm load. Additionally, the factory equipped this model with highly fragile, adjustable plastic rear sights that are notoriously prone to shifting out of alignment or snapping off completely if the weapon is accidentally bumped against a hard object like a car door or a counter. The fire control group utilizes a striker-fired single-action mechanism with a double-action restrike capability, breaking at a standard 6 pounds of resistance. The catastrophic flaw in this action lies within the weak stamped metal extractor claw and the subpar recoil spring assembly. As the weapon is fired, the recoil spring rapidly loses its structural tension, causing the slide to cycle out of sync with the ammunition casing extraction. This creates chronic failure to extract emergencies, where a spent casing remains firmly jammed inside the chamber while a live round is forced against it, completely rendering the firearm inoperable without a lengthy manual clearing procedure. Verdict: the Taurus PT79 Slim simply cannot withstand the rigorous high-pressure dynamics of modern defensive ammunition over prolonged use, leaving you highly vulnerable to mechanical lockups. Number 2. Taurus PT20. 2. Securing the runner. Up position on our countdown is a pocket pistol that commands a retail price of approximately $250 in 2026. The Taurus PT22 is a subcompact handgun chambered in the inherently unreliable .22 long rifle rimfire caliber, featuring a 2.3-inch tip-up barrel design and an unloaded weight of 18.5 ounces. The core engineering was tailored specifically for elderly shooters or individuals with severely limited hand strength, as the tip-up barrel allows a user to load a round directly into the chamber without ever having to manually rack the slide against a heavy recoil spring. While the ergonomics of the tip-up barrel are undeniably convenient for administrative handling, the operational ergonomics during a fight are highly problematic. The pistol features a surprisingly wide, chunky polymer or wood grip that makes it deceptively bulky for a low-power pocket weapon, making it difficult to draw cleanly from a pocket holster, because the slide lacks traditional, aggressive cocking serrations due to its specialized design. If a shooter experiences a mechanical malfunction, grasping and cycling the small slide to clear the jam is exceptionally difficult under the adrenaline-induced panic of a life-threatening encounter. The mechanical action is a double-action, only hammer-fired system that requires a massive heavy trigger pull clearing 9 pounds of resistance. Combining an incredibly heavy trigger with a rimfire cartridge, which is statistically prone to manufacturing priming voids, is a recipe for defensive failure. Crucially, the PT22 completely lacks a mechanical extractor claw, relying entirely on the residual gas blowback pressure of the fired cartridge to blast the empty casing out of the chamber. The absolute second that carbon fouling or bullet wax builds up inside the chamber, the spent casing sticks completely, turning your defensive firearm into a single-shot paperweight. Verdict: relying on the Taurus PT22 for personal protection forces you to gamble your life on rimfire ignition and gas pressure extraction without any mechanical redundancy. Number 1. Taurus PT20. 47. Taking the absolute crown at the number 1 spot is a full-size duty pistol that represents one of the most hazardous engineering failures in modern firearms history. While it has been officially discontinued, thousands of these firearms still circulate heavily on the used market in 2020, 6 for an alluring price of roughly $150. Available in standard 9mm and .40 Smith & Wesson calibers, the early generations of the Taurus PT24/7 featured a 4-inch barrel and a solid weight of 28 ounces. Engineered to look and feel exactly like a premium combat-ready service sidearm. Ergonomically, this pistol is incredibly deceptive because it feels absolutely magnificent in the hand. It was outfitted with a proprietary ribbed rubber grip overlay known as the Ribber Grip, which molds perfectly into the shooter's palm and provides extraordinary traction and recoil absorption. The natural pointability, large 15-round capacity, and comfortable balance led tens of thousands of budget-conscious citizens to purchase this platform as their primary bedside home. Defense weapon, completely unaware of the lethal mechanical defect lurking inside the slide. The fire control group is a striker, fired mechanism utilizing a manual thumb safety and a single action trigger that breaks smoothly at 5 pounds. However, the internal metallurgy of the sear engagement and the striker safety blocks was fundamentally flawed, leading to a catastrophic safety breakdown that resulted in multi-million-dollar class action lawsuits and massive corporate recalls. The internal components wear down so severely that the pistol can experience a drop fire failure, meaning it will discharge a live round completely on its own if dropped onto a hard surface or even if the frame is shaken violently side to side, regardless of whether the manual safety lever is engaged. Verdict: the early generation Taurus PT-24/7 is a mechanically hazardous liability that poses an immediate lethal danger to both the operator and innocent bystanders, earning it the undisputed top spot on our list of self-defense failures. When selecting a tool to defend your life or the lives of your loved ones, understanding mechanical history is just as vital as practicing your marksmanship on the range. While modern engineering has made high-quality firearms more accessible than ever, these 5 specific Taurus models prove that cutting the wrong corners in design, ergonomics, and metallurgy can yield disastrous consequences when pressure is applied. If this deep dive into defensive engineering added value to your firearms knowledge, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our high-end premium technology essays. Let us know down in the comments section what your absolute go-to ultra-reliable defensive handgun is when your life is on the line. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and we will see you in the next documentary feature.